Hello everyone, welcome back to Mr. Random Generator. Today we will be making Folder Sniper. Well, you may ask, what the heck is Folder Sniper? Well, Folder Sniper is a custom program that I want to do in like a month or so. So what I want to do in that program is to create a crosshair which replaces my current cursor in Windows. And if I click on a program, it should delete it or preferably snipe it. So to do that, we actually need a few things. The first of all is of course the crosshair, and since I want my application to run on the system tray, which is here, and therefore I need an icon for it. And to create those, I can use multiple programs, but my preferred choice is a program called Affinity Designer, which is an awesome program. But if you want to use a free alternative, you can always go with Krita. And now I can start the time lapse. Okay guys, now I'm back. I have created my crosshair, as you can see right here. It's at 1000 pixels by 1000 pixels. It's really simplistic crosshair, and one important factor is that it does have a transparent background, which is really important for our project. And as for our icon file, I've created again using my crosshair as a template, and it is actually 16 pixels by 16 pixels, and that will be displayed in our system tray. And in addition to those, I have found a gunshot sound file, and one important thing to mention here, our sound file should be in waveform, not in MP3 or another thing, because those forms, as far as I know, it doesn't work in our project. And speaking of our project, we just open up our project on Visual Studio. It is a WPF project which uses .NET Framework, not .NET Core. So, as you can see, it is opened up right there. In our XAML file, few things that we need to mention are really important. The first and foremost is that it should be in a topmost condition always, so we don't want our crosshair to be hiding behind of some sort of window or something like that. So we do that by setting the parameter topmost to true, and we obviously don't want it to be resize, so no resize. And this is really important. We should allow transparency, and we also don't want any like window styling, those buttons and stuff like that. And preferably I don't like it to be shown on the taskbar, so we set it to false. So yeah, we actually set the icon on here, that crosshair.png, but it doesn't matter since we don't show it in the taskbar. So this is our visual representation. So we just go ahead and look up the main logic. So in our main logic, it's actually a really short file and a really basic logic. We are using a mouse key hook package, which is an awesome package. You should definitely go ahead and check it out. I will put a link in the description, GitHub link. So what we do is we just define our global hook, and we just a boolean we will get in a second, and our sound player that plays the sound when we shut down the file or folder, whatever you say. And this may seem interesting, but Our logic will be like that. So this is our crosshair, and our mouse should be located in transparent regions like this or that spot. I prefer to use this because it's the most closest to the center. So what we want to do is, let's say we want to delete this folder. So first we click the folder, we click through the crosshair, we select that, and we want to send delete key. And if we send delete key, it should be deleting the file. So that is the expected behavior. Well, you may ask, why don't we replace the cursor with crosshair and implement behaviors like that? Well, that's a great question, and the only reason why I won't do that is because my solution is actually terrible for that, and I don't know if there is any other solution, but what pops into my mind is changing some registry stuff and changing the cursor and going from there. But as far as I know, it's a terrible idea and it could possibly mess up a lot of things up. So that is that. And just like I mentioned, to send the delete key, we are using the keyboard event function inside the user32.dll file, and we just create a simple delete function which sends the delete key. And in our main window, we obviously initialize the components and load the player with sound player, and we call our subscribe method. So what our subscribe method does is actually it initializes the value that we've defined right there, and we just hook it up move and mouse up events. Mouse move event is triggered when we move the mouse globally, and the mouse up event is triggered when we clicked and removed removed our click here. I don't know how to say that, but anyway, so we will be looking those events in a second, but I just want to go over the simplistic things right there. We define our icon, and we just add menu items to there. So what those menu items and icon represent is that, so as you can see in our system tray, we have some applications running here. So this icon represents that, as you can see, the notify icon. So we're using icon.ico file that we created, which is 16 by 6 pixels. And the menu items is the items that when we right click on them, see for instance, the MSI Afterburner has these items. What we want to do is actually the exit and snipe features. So I've just added really simply like so, and we are using event handlers for that. And as you can see, our snipe function is here and our exit function is here. And so let me go over the exit function real quick. It calls the unsubscribe method, which is right at the bottom. It just unsubscribes the events and disposes the hook. So this is that, and after that it closes our application. Very simple. And as for our snipe function, so snipe event, so it shows our application, which is show our cursor, and it actually sets the mouse up enabled value to false. So the mouse up enabled value is actually a thing that I add in order to fix a bug. It's a janky solution, but it works. You will probably understand it really easy if you check out the code real quick. So, and why do we show? We basically want to see our crosshair, and initially, as you can see, we hide it right there. So let's check out the mouse move event. On the event of the mouse move, we want to locate our crosshair to the position I mentioned previously, which is that transparent region. So yeah, that transparent region. So our crosshair, as you can see in the XAML file, it's 100 by 100 pixels. So what I want to do is move 45 from the left and 45 from the top, which represents that region. So this is why I subtract the 45 from the x and y axis, and basically just setting it right there. So another cool feature is that I found that you can just create basically logging into your program, actually in your WPF applications, by using trace.writeLine and giving your parameters, and it shows up on the console. It's a really nice feature to debug your applications. So that's again really simple. So in our mouse up event, we just call our delayed press function, and the delayed press function basically waits half a second, and then if those conditions are met, which is our cursor is visible and mouse up enabled, so it basically, mouse up enable is a switch like feature. So if that's true, we play our gunshot sound and call our delete function, which deletes the folder. And if again after deletion, it should hide it and set our switch to false. So as you can see, it's not a really long code, it's a basic code, and enough talking. Now I should show you how it's working. So let's create a new window, folder right here. So we want to delete that. As you can see now, our application is running. Sometimes you can see multiple icons right there, but it's kind of like a bug in Visual Studio, I think. So if you hover over them, they will go away, and I think it will not show up in production, but I don't really sure. So anyway, our application is running, and we should go ahead and select snipe. As you can see now, our crosshair is showing up really nice. So we want to delete that folder, we click it and shut it down, which is really cool, I think. So anyway, I hope you liked the video. Be sure to hit like and subscribe, and see you next time. Take care. Bye.